great Odin's raven.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
This is ridiculous. Okay, I'll go.
Hello and welcome to the FilmPulse.net podcast. My name is Adam. This is episode number 18. Today I'm joined by Kevin. How you doing, Kevin?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Today we're going to be going over some of the latest movie news, including what I thought of Piranha 3 Double D and Snow White and the Huntsman. Here's a hint. Neither of them are very good.
Oh.
Yeah. We also have Ryan back with us to tell us about a movie we made him watch called Alien Opponent in honor of this week's Prometheus. And finally, we'll be making our predictions for this week's opening films. But first, let's go over some of what we watched this week. Go ahead.
One thing real quick. I was, going through Netflix Play Instant, and I came across Against the Dark.
Oh, yeah?
The movie that we had Ryan watch. And I thought about watching it, and then I decided to punch myself in the testicles instead.
There you go. Probably better off.
Yeah, I think I made the right decision.
You probably enjoyed that more.
More than likely.
I think I'll kick things off this week and go over some of what I watched. First, I saw Iron Sky.
Was it the Nazi?
Yeah, the space Nazi, moon Nazi one.
Moon Nazis.
Now, I was actually excited to see this because I've been kind of tracking it for a long time. It's been in production for a really long time because it's entirely crowdfunded. The fans funded this movie completely, and in that regard, it looks really good. Like, the CG work is excellent. The sets are pretty good. All the stuff on the moon is pretty cool. But unfortunately, I can't recommend the movie because it kind of falls apart near the end, and it's set up like a parody. One of the most annoying parts about it, they have some really, really bad, cheesy jokes in it. And for instance, the president character is supposed to be like Sarah Palin. Like she's like she looks like Sarah Palin, but she has this like weird country accent. She's like just real goofy, and that didn't work for me at all. And after they get to Earth, that's when I think things kind of took a turn. Everything before that I thought was really interesting. The overall feel and like atmosphere of the movie was pretty cool, but I just can't recommend it.
Well, now, you said that the CGI is pretty good and everything. Now, if this was just like a regularly funded movie, would you still think the same thing, or is that based off of...
I think I would.
Okay.
I think I would still think that it was actually pretty good. I mean, there have been a lot of... the movie that we're going to be talking about in just a minute that we made Ryan watch, that's a movie that was not crowdfunded, and it looks a million times worse than this. So I would say, even not considering the fact that it was crowdfunded, it still looks good. The acting was not great.
Udo Kier's in it, though.
He is. Yeah, he's good. Of course. He's always good. And it's sad because it had a lot of potential. It had a lot of potential to be something that was really fun and kind of goofy and, full of action and stuff, but it just fell flat. Just fell flat.
The director of this movie apparently is the lead singer in a Finnish black metal industrial noise band.
Nice.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Too many umlauts. Ali Misto? But his next movie is called I Killed Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, have you heard of this? Is this based
on the Jason graphic novel? Oh,
yes, it is.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
And yeah, there's been a lot of really positive buzz about this.
I can say right now, if you like graphic novels, read anything by Jason, because they're fantastic.
I think the only one that I read was I Killed Adolf Hitler, and I loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah, because I wasn't exactly sure here. I'm on IMDb, and they have the writer. It says comic, but they have it as John Arne And we're done. I don't know. That's the last name. It's got the O with the slash through it, and then it's got the A-E together. Americans.
Yeah, it is definitely based on the graphic novel by Jason, so
That's awesome.
it's gonna be, yeah, I'm excited to hear more about that.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited now.
I also saw Sallow, or the 120 Days of Sodom on Criterion. If you haven't heard of this one, this is an intense movie, let me just say. It was made in 1975, but it's kind of considered, it's highly regarded as being one of the most disturbing films ever made. Basically, it's about these four powerful leaders, political figures in Italy who kidnap 18 boys and girls, 9 boys, 9 girls, and keep them in this big, lush estate for 4 months and do all kinds of horrible, debaucherous things. It's split into 4 different sections, and I'm not kidding you when I say that one of them is Circle of Shit. So it's pretty intense.
The excrement in that scene was a mixture of chocolate and orange marmalade.
Oh, there we go.
And also, it's not like this came out on Criterion a long time ago. And it went out of print.
Right. There was some issues with that.
Yeah. So if you have a Criterion with a white ring around the hub, they go for like $600 to like $800 on eBay.
Yeah, and it is to note that it is back in print now, and it's even on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But the original Criterion cut, they came out with it, and then they ran into some issues with the director, Pier Paolo Pasolini. His estate had some issues with Criterion and stuff, so that's what happened with that. But they got it back, and I mean, all you got to do is look at the Criterion cover, and you'll know that you're going to be in for some pretty intense stuff. And I thought it was going to be one of those things where, it was made in 1975, so probably what happens in this movie is not, it's tame for nowadays, for today's viewing, but no, it's still very intense.
Apparently the scene where they're forced to eat excrement was a metaphor for consumer capitalism.
Oh, yeah, that's when I say that it's an art house film, everything symbolizes something else.
Yeah, I think everything's mostly symbolism of probably like Mussolini.
There's a lot of symbolism regarding fascism. I'm not going to say I liked the movie, because it's not one of those movies you can say that you liked. I respect it.
I was going to say that's a better word for it. Respect it. Yeah, it is tough to say, yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I respect it in regards to the historical significance, and just from a filmmaking standpoint, like, this movie was so far ahead of its time. I mean, I still don't even know if we got there yet with it. But it was intense. It was just, if you're a real lover of film, if you're a real like cinephile, it's probably worth a watch. But if you are easily offended or have, get nauseous when seeing horrible things, maybe avoid it.
Apparently he was murdered before this premiered.
Yeah, he was. He was murdered. And it was banned. I mean, it got banned in several countries. It's still banned in several countries because it's considered pornography. And it's one of those things where after watching it, I was left wondering how much of this is art and how much of it is just exploitation. It's one of those movies that really makes you think about that, because it is very pornographic.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it depends on, I think it's tough for us to try and understand that, because we live in America, which is, let's face it, pretty awesome. We don't have
Yeah.
terrible fascism and tyrant regimes and all these, torturing, all this crazy shit. So, maybe he was just trying to make a point.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a political statement for sure. I just wish that they got their comeuppance at the end. Like, and maybe that's a spoiler on a movie that was made in 1975, but the movie felt very much like Hostel. I mean, Hostel had to be directly influenced by this movie. And the thing that made the Hostel movies worth watching is the fact that the bad guys, get their just desserts in the end. And they didn't really discuss that. And that was kind of the interesting thing, was the end of this movie. I mean, the very end scene in and of itself was a statement. So,
well, you got to remember, a lot of those people really don't get what they deserve.
And that's true. That's absolutely true. But
and maybe he's just like a pessimist. That's the way he views the world.
I hope not. Well, maybe he murdered himself if that was the case. I don't know. Let's go ahead and talk about your movies, because the only other two that I saw were Snow White and Piranha. So we'll talk about your movies, and then we'll get into those afterwards.
Well, I finally got to see. We need to talk about Kevin.
Yeah, it's another pretty heavy one.
It was pretty heavy. It was. I enjoyed it. My wife did not like it, and she was really, really into. She wanted to see this movie so badly because she read the book. And I remember when she read the book because she was so into it. And she was really let down by the movie. I didn't mind it. I thought it was a good movie. But after she told me what, sort of let her down about it, I could see that if I read the book before I watched this movie, I probably would have been let down too.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know what happened in the book, but I really liked the feel of the movie. It felt almost like a comedy, a very dark comedy with the music, and I liked the inappropriate use of the music. Like, the music didn't match the scene at all, and I like it when they do that in movies.
Yeah, I think mostly what she was telling me is in the book they discuss more about the mother. It's more about the mother and how she feels responsible and how she struggled so much in raising the kid. And, they explain more why he did it, like why he killed who he killed.
Well, I mean, I felt like the movie was about the mother. I thought that it was more about the mother than Kevin. I mean, in my review, I believe I wrote that it's more of a character study on the mother, Tilda Swinton's character, and how she is doing everything that she can to try to get this kid under control and love him, and it's just nothing works.
Yeah, well, the book seems different than what the movie is, which it's not really a bad thing. I mean, I'm one of those people that don't think of when you make a movie based on a book, it should necessarily be
I agree.
Completely true. It should just be more like inspired by the book. I mean, if you want to change some things here and there, that's fine.
And that's why I don't read, for the most part, I don't read books before a movie. I rarely read books that are based on a movie, or that a movie's, being adapted into.
Yeah. But that kid was a bastard.
He was pretty evil.
God.
Both the grown-up and kid version of him.
I have to say, Ezra Miller, who plays Kevin, he does a really good job of playing some evil people.
Yeah, he played kind of a messed up person in, what was the movie? It was called, it came out, I think, last year as well. Another Happy Day.
Mm-hmm.
And that was sort of, he played a messed up kid in that too. It was a pretty decent movie.
I think his first role was that after school movie by Antonio Campos.
I have not seen that.
I have not seen it either. I've heard about it though, and I want to see it. But he looks like he has a bright future, to say.
Yeah, I think he does.
But yeah, Tilda Swinton was really good in that movie.
Yeah, I just felt so bad for her.
Meh.
You think she deserved all of the ridicule?
She wasn't that great of a mother.
It makes me wonder, because part of the movie feels like, it raises the question, was the kid born like that? Because a lot of psychologists and stuff say, if you're born a sociopath, I mean, that's just how it's something in your brain. But they kind of alluded to her not really wanting the kid to begin with.
Yeah.
And it seems like almost this like the kid, even as a baby, sort of picked up on the fact that he was not wanted from the beginning.
Yeah, it seems like they touched on it, but they never really expounded on it. Which was one of the things that I sort of had a problem with. Is they're getting into this whole nature nurture thing, and then they just sort of completely drop it.
Well, I'm just wondering if that's something that's an unknown. Like, I mean, if this were a real life situation, I mean, how would you really be able to tell that? How would you really know?
Yeah, because
to me, it seems like even if she didn't initially want the kid, in all the scenes early on in the movie when she's like, when he's just a baby and he's just crying like nonstop and he won't stop. To me, that I feel like there was something wrong with him from the very beginning.
Well, plus babies can pick up when you're frustrated and stressed out, which she always was, and John C. Reilly never was. That's why I never really cried for John C. Reilly.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Pretty good movie though. I enjoyed Linda.
I recommend it. I liked it a lot. Anything else on your list?
I watched The Women on the Sixth Floor. Never really heard about this movie until I watched it.
Is this French?
It is indeed a French movie. It is essentially, say like a chick flick, but a watchable chick flick. I'll say that. I'm really happy that this is as far as I have to go with chick flicks. I never had to sit and watch a Katherine Heigl movie, thank God.
Oh, I think we can all be thankful for that.
Yeah. Essentially, it's in 60s Paris. Rich guy. Of course, they have maids. And his French maid quits. Runs out on him. So they hire a Spanish maid. It's the new thing. It's the in thing. Gotta get yourself a Spanish maid. You just head on down to the Catholic Church. Just walk in. Pick whatever one you want. You're good to go. So, and of course, all the Spanish maids live on the 6th floor, hence the title.
So what, does he get like a bunch of them?
No, he gets one. But it's a young Spanish girl. And he inevitably falls in love with her. Because he's sick and tired of his rich lifestyle in France, and all of his friends and stuff are stuck up and essentially dead inside. And all the Spanish maids are full of life and drinking and partying all the time. And he gets sucked in, and he gets obsessed with Spanish culture. And then it sort of goes on from there.
Doesn't sound like my cup of tea.
I mean, it was alright.
Help is on the way. That's the tagline. Help is on the way.
Mm-hmm. It's on the way. It's not really even on the way. It lives 2 floors above it. All you gotta do is go up the spiral staircase. You're good to go. But yeah, there was some funny parts in it. I mean, if you're looking for a lighthearted movie, I guess, or a chick flick that you will be able to tolerate, it's on it's on Netflix Play Instant. So there you go.
Have you seen anything else?
Summer Hours, which is also on Netflix Play Instant, by Olivier Assayas. Sounds about right.
Assayas.
Assayas. This was another French movie. Pretty much your typical like family movie, family tensions, family drama, where the three kids all get together for their mother's birthday. It's like 75th birthday. They have this huge estate, beautiful, all this land, beautiful house. Apparently, their great uncle was this famous painter. So they have this whole collection of paintings and all of this stuff. And then she passes away. So the oldest brother is in charge of, divvying everything up. And he wants to keep the house and everything for the kids and their kids. And the other two want to sell. They want to sell everything and they want money because of various different reasons. And it's sort of, all the emotions that go into trying to make those decisions. It was pretty good.
This is on Criterion.
Mm-hmm.
And stars Juliette Binoche.
Yes.
I like her.
Yes, I'm a fan of her as well. It's from 2008.
I might have to check this out.
Yeah, the movie that he made after this was Carlos. That got him some pretty big recognition. I think Carlos was actually like a mini-series.
I don't know.
It's like 5 hours long, I know that.
Never saw it, so I don't know.
I haven't seen it either yet. I can't bring myself to start that. I want to watch it very badly, but...
He also looks like he did one of the segments in Paris, Je t'aime. Which is like the only one of those types of movies that I can actually say I enjoy.
I know. It is the only one. I've tried to watch a couple of those omnibus movies. It's the only good one. The new one looks pretty good. Was it Cuba? Like 7 Days in Havana?
Yeah.
That one looks pretty good.
I think the new Woody Allen movie looks very similar in structuring to that too. It takes place in Rome, and it's like all these different people, all these different characters.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the exact same. Like with Paris Je t'aime, I mean, it's like separate short stories, and obviously the Woody Allen one is just one, but I think there's a lot of different subplots that are happening there. Let's talk about Snow White and the Huntsman.
Do we have to?
I'm going to keep it short. I did not like this movie. Okay.
And we're moving along.
I gave this a 4 out of 10 on the site. And for a more detailed explanation of why I didn't like it, you can just read the review. There was a lot going for this movie. Nothing worked. The visuals were really good. That's one thing that I will say. To its credit, it was a very visually pleasing movie. However, there were certain aspects of the visuals that were put in there like that didn't make any sense. Like they were just kind of superfluous, I guess. Additions to the movie, like where there was no point. They just put certain things in there just to put them in there, and that really bothered me. Because the movie was already too long, and it was extremely dull and extremely boring. I will say that none of the cast really had any kind of breakout performances. I didn't have a problem with Chris Hemsworth. I thought Charlize Theron overacted. I thought she was just on 11 the whole time. She was like yelling at the top of her lungs, like every conversation. And it was just like, whoa, this is just too intense. This is too much.
Yeah.
And Kristen Stewart, I'm sorry, but I just do not understand how she's so famous. Because she was...
Twilight, man. Twilight.
Yeah, but still, I mean...
Twilight.
That doesn't mean that she should get other roles. I mean, they kind of... They cast her in Twilight, so they got to see that through. But, I mean, come on. And I really liked Adventureland. Like, she was fine in that, but this, no.
I was gonna say because she wasn't too bad in. Really, the only thing I've ever seen her in is Welcome to the Rileys.
Well, she's not been in a lot of stuff.
Into the Wild.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. when she was a little
That's right.
kid.
She was Jodie Foster's daughter in Panic Room.
Yeah. But was that the pinnacle of her work?
I would say Adventureland. I really liked Adventureland. But, I mean, she wasn't, like, the main character in that or anything. And she doesn't have a whole lot of dialogue in Snow White. She doesn't speak a lot, but when she does, it's just like, oh, God, I hope this is over. Like, she has this big monologue at the end where she's kind of rallying the troops, and she leads this huge battle, which is completely unbelievable. Like, why would this 16, 17-year-old girl be leading an army into battle? And earlier in the film, they show Chris Hemsworth trying to teach her how to fight and defend herself, and then all of a sudden, she's leading an army, and she's like fighting in a huge war against men that are twice her size. I mean, it's ridiculous, and that's just a small, yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The other thing that I did like was the dwarves, the 8 dwarves.
I remember you telling me about them, and I just checked to see who the other ones were. And Eddie Marsan is a dwarf. I love Eddie Marsan. He's awesome.
Great cast for the dwarves. I mean, we have Ray Winstone, Bob Hoskins, Nick Frost, Eddie Marsan, as you said, Toby Jones. I mean, these are like top-notch actors, and they're in this very, very sidelined role as the dwarves, and they were the best part of the movie. They added a good bit of comic relief to it, and they were just the most interesting part. And however they did, I don't know, I guess they did something with CG to make them look like dwarves, but it looked really good. Like, at first I didn't even recognize them, and then, like, as the initial scene where they were introduced progressed, I was like, oh, that's Toby Jones. And like I started picking each one of them out, but they did the effects for that. Really, really impressive. But they were just underused. I wanted to see more of them, and instead they opted to add this character named William in, who was completely unnecessary. He added 0 to the film, and I think that they were going to try to add some kind of love triangle thing at one point, but I guess in the 30 different drafts of this script, it didn't work. It got edited out or something. So we have this character of William who, I mean, he's a badass. He's like an archer, and he's the son of the Duke that they're kind of on this quest to go see. And he's cool, but there's no reason for him to be in the movie. He adds nothing. He adds nothing to it. So, I can't recommend it. It has a couple cool things. I mean, maybe like rent it on Blu-ray when it comes out. But I almost walked out of the theater. I thought it was so boring and dull. I'm surprised I didn't fall asleep.
Yes.
And the other one that I saw was Piranha 3 Double D.
And
this is
right? God awful.
Yes. This is in theaters and on demand right now. And it's nothing like the first one. They tried to make it like the first one, but nothing worked. There were some cameos. David Hasselhoff was in it, Christopher Lloyd, Gary Busey, Ving Rhames, and I think his name's, is it Paul Scheer from The League? He's the comedian. Yeah, he was in it too. David Koechner was in it. He wasn't a cameo. He was actually one of the main characters, which should let you know. Not good. It wasn't clever. It wasn't funny. There were maybe a couple scenes that made me laugh. Actually, the David Hasselhoff stuff was funny. And I didn't think it would be. I thought it'd be just stupid and cheesy and whatever. Because, I mean, how many times have we seen David Hasselhoff making fun of himself? But for some reason, I thought that his stuff was funny in this. I mean, they played the Baywatch music and had him running in slow motion, and it was just funny. But other than that, absolutely terrible. The death scenes, the kills were not clever. They were not good. The special effects were awful. They mixed it up with CG and practical effects. None of it worked. And I will say, though, that I think her name is Suri in 30 Rock. She's in it. And something very, very terrible happens to her. And that's really the only, like, kind of shocking or, I guess, sort of gruesome moment. She doesn't die, I'll tell you that, but something terrible happens to her. So that's it. Don't see it. We gave it a 1.5. Just awful. And you know me, I'm a huge fan of horror movies. I'm a huge fan of exploitation cinema. And this was just a cheap ripoff and should be avoided. I think that does it. Let's do some Ryan Watches a Movie, shall we? This is Ryan Watches a Movie, where we get our friend Ryan to watch a movie and tell us what he thought.
Oh no. Little kids got naked and had lots of sex.
Magi
Crawl.
watching the Guardian. Don't even waste your time.
Welcome back, Ryan. What movie did we have you watch this week?
I believe it's called Alien Opponent.
Alien Opponent. This is in honor of Prometheus coming out this week. And this is from 2010. Stars Jeremy London, Roddy Piper. Let me go ahead and read the IMDb synopsis for this. The owner of a small town junkyard offers a cash reward to whomever can kill her uninvited space-suited alien guest when its spacecraft crash lands into her barn. Okay, now before we get your thoughts, Ryan, let's go ahead and listen to the trailer. This is
absolutely pointless to even listen to.
Well, let's let the listeners be the judge.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what happens because I haven't heard the trailer.
Okay, this is Alien Opponent.
There goes one of those good-for-nothing spacemen like on TV.
Thank you all so much for showing up to help us in our time of need. Tragedy struck my loving family last night when a spaceship landed in the junkyard. My son-in-law Tom was killed. We are offering a $100,000 reward to the person that can bring Tom's body back.
I think the aliens killed him. With a hammer.
You can tear up the place. Blow into Kingdom Come. Rip each other limb from limb.
Then all you have to do is kill our alien.
This alien has powers beyond our control. Come prepared to kill him by any means necessary. You all understand? $100,000!
Do not harm me, or I will kill you.
Giddy up.
Sounds like it gets pretty intense.
Yeah, it does.
All right, Ryan, why don't you tell us about this?
I need to start off before I forget. When the kid said, when he said, like, do not harm me, I will kill you or whatever. There was a kid, there was like a 12-year-old kid that got his head chopped off, and the alien picked his head up and spoke through his head.
Yeah, I saw that in the trailer. It was pretty exciting. Great special effects work, by the way.
This movie was far and away a waste of my time, far and away a waste of anyone's time, waste of the director's time. I mean, I'm not really into B movies, but apparently this is the best B movie ever, but I thought it was f***ing the worst thing ever. Yeah. I was not excited about it though. There's horrible acting. The plot, I don't even need to explain to you the plot because after like 20 minutes, it doesn't even. The plot has no bearing on that kind of story.
I'm really surprised that, I mean, Jeremy London was never really a big actor to begin with, nor was Roddy Piper, but the fact that they're in this really shows how the mighty have fallen.
Well, isn't Roddy Piper in a couple other shitty movies?
No, he's in all kinds of bad stuff, yeah.
They both are. Has Jeremy London been in anything good besides Mallrats?
No, I don't think so. And see, funny story with Jeremy London. For years, I didn't realize that Jason London, they were like twins. I always just thought it was the same person. And I never realized, because I never really knew him by name. I was just like, oh, it's the guy that was in Mallrats and Dazed and Confused. I didn't realize that. And one of them's real screwed up, right? Which is Jeremy the one that's all screwed up?
Yeah, Jeremy's the one that's all screwed up. He was on Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew.
And he got, supposedly he was...
the whole kidnap story.
Yeah, he was kidnapped and forced to...
Yeah.
That was the best. Oh.
Oh my god.
I wanna take like 20 or not 20 minutes, like an hour, and completely tear this movie apart. But I know.
Do it.
I realize for a lot they could have done.
Why don't you just give us the condensed
Go.
tearing apart of the movie?
It's ridiculous.
Bring it.
This, well, first of all, it's about this hillbilly. And he's married to, a woman that's probably a third of his age. And we don't know why that's happening. But actually, to tell you the truth, at first, I thought it was his daughter.
You know,
Until I saw him kiss her, then I thought maybe they were from York County.
Real quick, I watched about 15 minutes of this, 20 minutes in preparation before I gave it to you, and I thought the same thing. I thought that they were father and daughter, and they were going for this weird hillbilly incest thing with it.
Yeah. So after that happens, then the old guy goes in a barn and finds out that his young wife is having sex with someone, and all of a sudden out of nowhere an alien crashes and kills the guy, knocks the guy out, and the girl's mother comes and kills him with a hammer in the head and just walks away. They call the cops to come and get the alien. Now, why would you call the FBI? If a fucking alien landed in your barn, why would you not call the FBI? Why did you call one local cop? I don't understand. But there's so many. This movie is filled with that. There's so many things that are so random that make absolutely no sense at all. And maybe every 10-15 minutes you'll laugh, because at certain points, this one point in the junkyard, when all these people are good to kill this alien. Number one, there's a shark in the junkyard. He's a land shark.
What?
But he goes under the ground and eats people like a real shark.
Wait a minute.
What?
Let's
yeah. You're
Let's
just
back up a
glossing
couple
over this
steps.
nonchalant, there's no big deal.
So wait,
Land shark?
is the land shark part of the alien thing, or what?
It's like a little, I guess you would call it a guard for the alien.
Oh, okay.
But it just so happens that when they get this land shark, it's in a huge pool of water in the junkyard. And it's just weird that there happens to be a huge pool of water, and there's a shark in it, and it f***s people up. But it's like a digital shark.
Of course.
It's not a real shark. It's, I don't know, whatever.
So is it
Then,
digital shark?
a little while later, this high school, like 3 high school football players come in their uniforms and pads. No, I'm sorry, it was 4. In their uniforms and pads, and try to tackle this alien. Now, beforehand, this alien's been shot by automatic rifles, 44 mags, all kinds of flamethrowers, all kinds of stuff. But they think tackling it will kill it. Boy, are they wrong. They die real quick. There is a lot of dying. And that's a funny part because the way people die is so random that it'll make you laugh out loud. But don't even try to understand the story, because you won't. You won't at all.
I think it's just there's nothing to it. Like there's no substance. It's like an alien crash landed. We don't know where it came from, what it is, anything, like what its goals are. But the focus is all these different colorful people that come together in order to kill this alien and get this reward. And there's like every kind of stereotype you can think of they put in here, like the prissy girls with guns and stuff, and it actually sort of reminded me, not direction-wise, but over-the-top-wise, it reminded me kind of Quentin Tarantino.
Really?
Like how Machete is, like, ridiculously violent. That's kind of how this movie is.
Well, Machete was Robert Rodriguez, but I understand what you're saying, like the whole exploitation aspect of it and stuff, and like it was sort of like Smoking Aces, where he had all these different people that were trying to do this one thing, kill this thing.
There's less storytelling.
Yeah.
And more people in this movie.
It's also worth mentioning that Roddy Piper's character was like a preacher.
Really?
I want to punch him in the face.
Ooh. You want to go toe-to-toe with Roddy Piper?
You goddamn right. I'll take him and his... What do you see around 2 for?
Whoa.
Take that and beat the shit out of him.
Damn.
And Jeremy London kind of played this like badass loner guy named Brooklyn Davis.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, Brooklyn. How badass is Brooklyn? That's fucking girl's name.
Probably not as badass as Queens.
I don't think Brooklyn's really a girl's name. I don't think you can go off of Brooklyn Decker and say that Brooklyn is a girl's name.
I don't think it should be a name, period.
No, it shouldn't
I
be.
used to have a stepsister named Brooklyn.
Brooklyn?
Oh, so you're going Brooke space Lynn with 2 N's.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I assume the Brooklyn in this movie probably have the name because they're sort of going white trash. Yeah.
Well, I don't think Brooklyn's really white trash.
It's more hipster than anything.
I'm going by the Ted Redband trailer because he totally says Brooklyn.
Does he?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the director briefly, Colin Thays.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested. What else did he do?
He only did a couple other things, probably nothing worth mentioning. Before Alien Opponent, he did a movie called Banshee with 3 exclamation points.
Well, that means it's 3 times the fun.
You're damn right it is.
Yes, it is. And then before that, he only did 2 short films. He has a movie coming out called Steve Niles Remains. Now, I don't know if this is like Steve Niles that I believe it is. Steve Niles is one of the creators of 30 Days a Night. He did the comic book.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that maybe this is an adaptation of another Steve Niles graphic novel, probably.
Could be. He's also coming out with the Dead Souls in 2012 with Bill Moseley. Bill Moseley's in it.
I'll tell you, I like Bill Moseley a lot. He's a really nice guy. But as far as acting, I don't know. Not sure about that. Jesse James is in it, so...
I like Bill Moseley when he was setting my Blu-ray.
Yeah, he did sign your Blu-ray, didn't he? That's a different Jesse James. I was thinking it was the Jesse James from whatever the one that was married to Sandra Bullock.
That would have been awesome, but it's not.
No, it looks like some stupid kid.
Like I said, I need not say anymore except don't even bother this movie. I mean, it might be good for an hour and a half of passing time if you're real bored. But if you're looking for anything of substance, this is not the movie that you should be watching.
There you have it.
Well, I wanted to ask you real quick because you said numerous people die. What was the most enjoyable death for you?
Oh my god, there were so many. There was when Roddy Piper died.
Oh,
spoiler!
Son of a bitch!
They went to bury him, and like his partner was like, "Good, let's bury him," and he came back to life, and they hit him with baseball bats.
Wait a minute. Stop right there. He came back to life? Was he a zombie or was he just normal and they decided to kill him again?
He was like a zombie, but like he didn't attempt to eat people.
So he was a conscientious zombie.
He was a good zombie.
Sort of.
He wasn't the type of zombie that finds a homeless man and eats his face. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah, go Miami. So he's like a zombie that's considerate of other people. So he's a considerate zombie. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a zombie with a heart.
Aww.
He's definitely trying to kill, but he's not trying to like eat people.
Why'd he come back as a zombie?
Because there's something that this alien has that reanimates people, and it reanimated Roddy Piper.
So, I mean, it seems like this alien is sort of like the Predator from Predator.
You know what's real funny about that? At one point, now I don't know the Predator movie very well.
You should.
But at one point, the alien is looking at his arm, and it's all the symbols from Predator.
Oh, so he has like that.
The exact same symbol.
Oh, okay. So he has like that computer thing on his arm that he can do stuff with.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds like this movie's just a rip-off of everything.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts before we give you your drum roll?
Not good. Not good at all.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Ryan, what do you give Alien Opponent?
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 2.
2 out of 10. That's a 2 out of 10 for Alien Opponent.
And I can say that if it wouldn't have made me laugh at all, I would have given it a 1. Because it was honestly probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I just didn't get it.
Very...
Way too much shit happening.
I don't see anything regarding the budget for this or anything, but it looks extremely low budget. We're talking like maybe a step up from Birdemic territory here.
Ooh.
There was a lot of bad CG from the looks of it and practical effects that were not very good either. You know what I hate in really low budget movies? When they shoot guns and they don't like actually put blanks or anything in the guns and they add the sound effects and the muzzle flash in After Effects because it looks so bad. And like, you know, the actors will actually produce the kickback from the gun themselves and just kind of like pretend like they're shooting. And any movie that does that looks so terrible.
Agreed.
As a side note, look up the guy, I can't even say his name. I assume it's Kyle Carvin?
He plays Braden James.
Yeah. Just click on his name and look at the movie that is called Captain Battle. He's in a movie called Captain Battle. And it looks exactly like Captain America.
I would not be surprised at all if
he's also
that
in a
was...
movie called Snake Club, Revenge of the Snake Woman.
Oh my god. You know, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Captain Battle was an Asylum film, but it's not. It's Mike the Pike Productions. Wow, that is really, really terrible.
Oh, by the way, there's another actress in this. She has a pretty small role. She's a Southern woman looking for a husband. And she actually says that maybe. And she goes to this junkyard after this alien, unarmed. And her name is Deborah Dallas. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be some kind of homage to Debbie Does Dallas.
Probably, yeah, sounds like it.
But it was retarded. Like it was supposed to make you laugh, but it did not.
I don't think anything in this would make me laugh. All right, Ryan, well, thank you for watching that for us. We'll have you back next week for another great movie. I'm going to try to switch it up. I'm going to try to give you something a little bit different next week, not just a bad sci-fi or horror movie. But I don't know. You might end up with one anyway.
I'm going to look. I'm going to see if I can come up with anything.
Yeah. Kevin, there's a couple that I want to run by you and see if it'd be good.
I'd really love to give him like a classic art house film. Just to
look.
Just to confuse the shit out of him.
We can look. All right, Ryan, thank you very much. If you want to get your own copy of Alien Opponent, you can just head on over to our site at filmpulse.net and click on the Ryan Watches a Movie section, and there will be links there. And you can download this and listen to it and all that fun stuff. So, thanks again, Ryan.
After you do that, set yourself on fire.
There you go. All right, Ryan, see you later.
See you later.
Let's talk about some Amazon deals. To get these incredible deals, just go to our site at filmpulse.net and either click on the Amazon banner, shop as you would normally, or click on the store link and check out some of our favorites and what we've been watching throughout the week. First up, we have Iron Man 2 3-disc Blu-ray, $14.96. Now, I do agree that Iron Man 2 is the weakest of all the Marvel movies, but I still liked it. In fact, a lot of the Marvel movies right now are on sale. There's some kind of Father's Day sale that's happening on Amazon, so you can check that out. I think Thor's on sale, Captain America's on sale. So then we have Terminator 2 Blu-ray $5.19.
Wow.
They're really trying to get rid of Terminator 2, aren't they? I wonder if they're gearing up for some kind of box set or special edition. Then we have Fight Club Blu-ray, $10. Pretty good deal. Batman Begins, another $10. So check some of those out. Go to Amazon, click on the banner. You'll be helping out the show. We appreciate that very much. Let's talk about some news.
Let's do it.
Avengers, number 3 film of all time. Number 3, top grossing film of all time. It's been out for what? 5 weeks now, maybe?
It hasn't been out long. Not enough to be.
I think it's been out for already.
That's ridiculous.
It has potential. Like, people were saying that there's no way it's going to hit number 1. I think number 1's Avatar. They're saying that it's not going to hit number 1, but I don't know. I mean, we're just entering the summer, and looking at what every other big summer blockbuster's been doing, it's not even coming close.
Not at all.
I mean, as big as this summer was, like, anticipated, the numbers just aren't there.
We still don't have the big movies haven't come out yet.
No, and Prometheus premiered overseas this weekend, and it had a big open. It had a real big opening. I can't remember what the number is, but it was something like, I think it was like 6 million, like Friday maybe or something. I think it might have been like 5 or 6 on Friday. That's going to be a big one, I think. And I kind of wish I added that to my prediction list.
Added what to your prediction list?
Prometheus.
What did you have? You didn't have that one at all? You don't have?
No.
Oh.
I didn't think that Prometheus was gonna, because it was rated R, and I just didn't think, people, I mean, your wife doesn't even want to see it.
She doesn't like sci-fi.
I think a lot of people don't like sci-fi, so we'll see.
But I know her sister's going just because Michael Fassbender's in it. She's obsessed with Michael Fassbender.
God.
She's not interested in the movie at all, but she's going to go see it because of Michael Fassbender.
Speaking of which, as a complete side note, if you haven't checked out last week's episode of Game of Thrones, watch that because it is incredible. It's directed by Neil Marshall, who directed The Descent and Doomsday and Centurion. That's what led me to it, because Fassbender's in Centurion. So check that out. Game of Thrones is getting ridiculously good.
I'm so excited. When we were in Philly, when I got to see, Girls and Veep, they were showing stuff for Sunday night's Game of Thrones episode. And we almost booked another night to stay in a hotel just so we could watch it.
That was probably the one.
It probably was.
That I was like, because it wasn't the one, it was last week's. It was last Sunday's.
That's the one that, yeah.
Yeah. It was, and tonight's the finale. And it's going to be extended. The episode's extended. I think it's going to be an extra 10 minutes.
I have a feeling that I'm going to lose a weekend. I'm just going to watch all season 2 just in like a day or two.
Highly recommend it. Season 1 was great. Season 2 is just amazing. Treasure Island, Guy Ritchie. How's that for a segue?
It worked perfectly.
What do you think about this?
Why? Why is this happening? And what happened to Guy Ritchie?
Well, I didn't mind the first Sherlock Holmes. I thought the second one was okay. It wasn't great. The action scenes were out of control good.
Yeah, I love the way he does this sort of slowed down fight scenes.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that after Sherlock he would go to something, because I was figuring that he was doing Sherlock to get financing for like his own idea. And I was hoping that after the 2 Sherlock movies he would go and do his own thing. But apparently not.
I don't know. I'm starting to believe that he just kind of caught lightning in a bottle with Lock, Stock, and Snatch, and just, I mean, nothing he's done has been at that level since. I liked Rock and Rolla, but it was nowhere near the same level as Snatch. And although I enjoy the Sherlock movies, they definitely have that Guy Ritchie feel to them, but there's just something missing. I think that maybe it's because he makes them more family friendly and PG-13 and stuff. Maybe he can't go for the real gritty adult dialogue and stuff like that. And I think Treasure Island will probably work, and it'll make a ton of money, and it'll be a completely average action adventure. I think that it's being produced by the same guy that did the Sherlock movies. So I would have a very strong feeling that it's going to look exactly like the Sherlock movies, just with pirates. Let's move on, because, I mean, I think that it'll be fine. I mean, whatever. We won't see it for another 3 or 4 years probably anyway,
I think it's pretty much time, and it probably already has been, to just sort of give up on Guy Ritchie. I don't think... Yeah, I don't
I'm
think
getting there.
It's not happening.
I mean, remember when Snatch came out and we were just...
It was amazing.
It blew our minds. I remember we went to go see it the day it came out in theaters, and it was just an enlightening experience. Let's talk about the Drive sequel, Driven. Now, I know I said earlier in the show that I don't like reading books that are being adapted into movies, but I'm thinking about picking this one up just because I'm clamoring for more of this character. The director, Nicholas Winding Refn? Remph.
We're so close. You almost had it.
He hasn't been attached to the sequel. I would imagine that he's going to do it just because he has to realize that Drive is really the movie that was his breakout.
Yeah.
So
I really hope he does come back to do it, or at least comes back in maybe another capacity. You know what I mean?
Or maybe it's
something.
Maybe it's gonna be one of those series where the Alien series, where each movie sequel they get like a new and different director to give it kind of a different look, to add to it. I like that when they do that.
I would
movies.
just hope that they get Ryan Gosling.
Oh yeah, that's a must. That has to happen. It'd be cool if they got David Fincher to do it.
That would be a nice one.
I'd like to see David Fincher do a Drive sequel just to see his take on it. But he also has another movie coming out that, well, possibly. He's in talks to direct a film adaptation of a graphic novel called Button Man. And this is about an assassin who gets entered into this game where he has to fight and kill other assassins for the amusement of aristocrats.
It's always for the amusement of aristocrats.
Yeah.
Always.
I think the fact that he's directing this, it could work.
Yeah.
There will definitely have to be some cast, people cast in it.
At one point, apparently, Leonardo DiCaprio was attached to star.
Well, that would work, I think, but we'll see. To me, that whole story of, it's, killing each other for sport or a TV show or whatever, it's old. It's just, let's move on. Let's do something else. I mean, we've been seeing that concept since, in movies, Running Man probably in the 80s, but I mean, Most Dangerous Game and The Lottery and all that stuff that was much before that even. So
yeah, it's been done. But like me and you were talking, number one, if anyone else was directing this movie, I wouldn't care. It wouldn't even be.
No, we wouldn't even be reporting on it.
No, but with the idea of this movie, I'm just really excited to see his style of just cool, just stylized violence. I'm up for it. So I'm excited for Button Man.
As long as it has a sweet 80s synth track.
Oh, yeah. You put in a
soundtrack.
sweet-ass electro soundtrack to that, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be cool, and I think the Drive sequel's going to be cool. If you want to know any plot details or anything like that, you can check out the article. You might not want to know anything, so I'm not going to say anything on here about story details. So
Yeah.
And you had some news?
I have, first one is apparently Spike Jonze's new movie. I don't know if you've heard about this. It's untitled. There's no title for it yet, but there's an idea.
Is it the one where the guy forms the relationship with the computer? Or
the Siri-like computer voice?
Yeah.
Yes. Which has me pretty excited.
There was some rumblings about that a while back, that he was trying to put something together with that. And I think that's going to be... because he has more than one movie coming out, right? So I think he has one that's being planned before that.
I didn't hear anything.
I think he might have one that's coming out before that, but... Well, he's also directing a documentary called Pretty Sweet.
Oh, yeah. Well, apparently, Joaquin Phoenix is supposed to be playing the man that falls in love with the Siri-like computer voice. And...
I never asked you, have you seen the Master trailer?
Yes. He looks...
What do you think about that?
Pretty damn good in that movie. I'm
Yeah.
very excited. Extremely excited. Because that was like the perfect teaser. Because I don't understand how it plays into what the movie's about. Like, the teaser is completely off basis of what the movie's supposed to be about.
Well, I think that Joaquin Phoenix's character somehow... I think he, like, gets in trouble and then somehow joins up with Philip Seymour Hoffman's...
Yeah, like the...
religion.
Yeah.
We'll call it a religion, but we'll put air quotes up.
Air quotes. Religion. Cult.
I was really digging how it was filmed. It looked like it was right from the 50s, late 50s.
Yeah. No, P.T. Anderson is amazing.
It looked really good. I mean, it had that like vintage old camera feel to it. Looked awesome.
And like 40 years from now, we're going to be calling each other up and be like, did you see the new P.T. Anderson box set? It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it will be. So, Joaquin Phoenix in the new Spike Jonze.
Apparently has Amy Adams, Rooney Mara, Samantha Morton, and Olivia Wilde. All have...
Well, sign me up. I'm definitely into that.
Count me in. I'm ready to go.
What was your other news
The other one
piece?
is, I was wondering if you have seen anything about this yet. Do you remember Zhang Ziyi from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? And I think she was also in, was it House of Flying Daggers?
Yeah, she was the young girl, right? Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Did you see the news that broke of her?
I don't think so.
She's been accused of being paid millions of dollars, apparently like $99 million, in exchange for sexual favors with a multitude of Chinese government officials.
What?
So apparently she was a prostitute for the Chinese government.
That's weird.
Yeah. Apparently she wasn't able to... She had a movie at Cannes, but she wasn't able to go...
Right, yeah, I'm just reading here that it says that she's no longer able to leave the country. They banned her from leaving the country.
And apparently she made $1 million a night.
Oh, man. I really like her.
Well,
too.
I'm looking at another one. It says $110 million, not 99. But apparently she's not messing around. She hired some lawyers, and she is going after them. She says that it's all BS. It's all completely made up.
Well, this 700 million RMB, so it's not like US dollars.
Yeah.
Man, that is nuts. I did not hear that. I think I did like see some kind of... Because normally when there's like little like celeb type gossip headlines, I just kind of gloss over.
Yeah,
I don't even read them.
That's usually
but
what
then,
I do too.
but that's
And
huge.
What made me see it is it said, Zhang Ziyi prostitution claim, and I was like, whatever did happen to her? I didn't, I haven't really seen if she's been in that many movies, and I thought like, oh, she hit rock bottom, and she became a prostitute, and then open it up, and it's like, no, she's still making movies, and apparently she made $110 million reportedly.
Yeah.
For sexual favors given to Chinese government officials. Now, also, this is China.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't know what's true and what's
no
not.
idea.
Well, you know what? If a Chinese official offered me $110 million, I might consider it.
So,
that's all I'm saying. Just throwing that out there. Hey, Chinese
if you're
dignitary.
listening, China, Adam is ready to go.
110 mil? Sign me up.
Well, apparently she made it $1 million a night.
Right. It was over a span of time.
So you're talking...
I think if 110 million was just gone from like the, if she just all of a sudden went to the bank and cashed a check for 110 million, that might raise some suspicions. But well, let's go over some of our predictions. Last week we had Snow White and the Huntsman. You predicted 72. I predicted 80. Actual 46. That's a win for you. Battlefield America. You predicted 9. I predicted 13. Actual 14.
Wow, this
so
fucking 14? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Roger from Sister Sisters banking a 14 there. Then we have Piranha 3 Double D. You predicted 12. I predicted 10. Actual 12. Right on the money.
Nice.
Let's do some predictions for next week. We have Prometheus coming out.
Right.
Yeah. What do you what are you giving Prometheus here?
82.
82. Okay. I'm gonna say shit. That's a good number.
Right, it is.
83. Then we have Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted.
The one that stole headlines at Cannes this year.
I'm gonna say 78.
If this was in competition, it would have swept the awards. And I'm gonna give it like a 70. Yeah.
Okay. That's it for wide release. We do also have safety not guaranteed. Did you want to predict that?
I'm going to go ahead and predict that. I'm going to go with 88.
88?
I'm pretty excited for this movie.
I'm very excited for it. And I think it is going to be very highly rated. So I'm going to say 85. I think that looks pretty good. There's a couple other movies coming out. Bellamy, which is not very good. We reviewed that on the site, so you can check that out. I think that's playing on demand currently. We have Lola Versus. I thought that this looked okay. Didn't look great, but I like that Greta. Was it Greta Gerwig? Is it Gerwig or Gerwig?
Greta Gerwig.
I like her. And I like Joel Kinnaman. So, and we also have Dark Horse, the new Todd Solondz film coming out in limited release. That looks awesome. Looks more mainstream than his other stuff. So
I'm looking forward.
We'll see how that.
Looking forward to that movie.
And there's a bunch of other stuff that's not worth mentioning, really. One other movie that I would like to mention, it's not coming out on Friday, it's actually coming out June 13th, is The Artist is Present. Have you seen this? It's a documentary about I think she's Serbian. Her name's Marina Abramovic. And she did she's like a performance artist, and she does these live paintings things, and I think she did one at the Museum of Modern Art where she sat in a chair still for 738 hours or something like that. And the way that the piece worked was that visitors could come and sit in the chair across from her at the table and like stare at her. And this is kind of a documentary about her life and that her making that piece and doing it and stuff. And it looks really cool. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, it does look pretty good, but I have to say that performance piece, whatever the hell you want to call that, give me a break. give me a fucking break.
She got $1 million probably to sit in a chair at a table.
Fucking break.
I mean, she's that's what she's famous for, is doing these live art things. So.
Bravo, that's what you're famous for. I sat in a chair still for hours and let people look at me. Good on you.
I still want to check it out. It seems like it could be interesting. Maybe after watching it, you'll have a newly found appreciation.
No, I have a feeling
form.
that I'll probably be more pissed off than I am right now.
Because you'll see how rich she is, probably.
Yeah, and how people will be like fawning over it, like, oh, it was such a daring piece. Such bravery and courage. For what? To sit in a fucking chair? Give me a break.
It reminds me of when we went to MoMA in New York and they had that, I think it was
Oh my god.
the trash thing where it was just like random garbage.
Yeah, it looked like a
just a pile of garbage.
Yeah, like a compulsive person put it together. It was
and
on,
people
like,
were
neatly.
just
people walking around like, oh, this is
taking pictures of it.
Yeah, I see what they're trying to say here.
Oh, I love art. That's what I love about it. Because you juxtapose that with the girl taking pictures of herself in her camera in front of some of the pieces.
That girl was ridiculous.
Doing like the pouty lips. I love it.
It's fantastic.
I think that does it for another show.
Yes.
For latest film news and reviews, visit filmpulse.net. We want to hear your feedback. Send us an email at podcast@filmpulse.net or call our voicemail line at 850-391-6075. Also, please take a minute to rate us on iTunes. We appreciate that greatly. For filmpulse.net, my name is Adam.
And I'm Kevin.
And we will see you on Tuesday for DVD and Blu-ray releases.